And we are off and running. Chapter 17. A neon sign in the window flickers unevenly, casting a dull red glow onto the sidewalk. It promises number one wings in the state in bold, enthusiastic letters, followed by the more intriguing claim 26 flavors, home of the original Two Fat Brothers recipes. Just beneath, in smaller hand painted letters on a wooden board is a cartoonish illustration of the two fat brothers, two barrel-chested men in matching stained aprons, each giving a thumbs up. Someone, probably one of the brothers, tacked a handwritten note beneath the sign that read, "Try the peanut butter sriracha or go home, coward." Jenna naturally stops to snap a photo before we enter. The bar is too sleek to be a dive and too lived in to be upscale, the kind of place that settled into its identity long before chicken wings became the finger food of the neo-hipster set. The walls are lined with dark wood, worn at the edges where hands have dragged, with low light illuminating amber gleams of whiskey glasses. The air smells of varnish, citrus, and Parmesan garlic sauce. The booths have green leather seats, cracked but moderately comfortable, and the long bar stretches across the room like a catwalk. Bottles line the shelves behind the bar in unscientific precision, each one sporting a different label or curve. The bartender moves with boredom, like he's seen every kind of night unfold, breakups, celebrations, backroom deals, and none of it surprises him. There is a jukebox with a sign that says "Broken," and no music is playing, the only sounds that of spirited conversations over the clink of ice and glass. The patrons aren't the rowdy kind, they speak in easy voices, their laughter unmeasured, the kind of people who know the value of oilcloth-covered tables and damned good chicken wings. It isn't a place for spectacle. It's a place for big napkins, fast drinks, decisions as to whether to order extra hot or teriyaki, and for those things that need to be discussed in neutral territory. Jenna and I step toward the hostess stand, the dangerously spicy scents wrapping around us like the arms of the two genuinely fat brothers who take their greetings seriously. Seriously. The two brothers, or at least I assume that's who they were, meet us with hugs and instructions to try the wings of the day, Kentucky Rub. We voice our agreement and keep moving. Simon's voice reaches me before he sees me, smooth, pointed, and impatient as he directs someone on the phone to clear up the logs. I shouldn't react. I should play it safe, calm, like everything's cool. Get some of those dry rub wings. My heart betrays me, skipping a beat, not from excitement, but from guilt. Before I can process it, before I can think of something flippant to throw at anyone who will listen, I do something wildly out of character. I reach up and remove my neck brace. Then I whip off the band that's holding up my hair in a messy pebbles dew. Jenna, mid-step, nearly collides with me. I shake my hair out despite the pain so that I will look like a knockoff starlet and not a low-budget insurance claim victim. Jenna shoots me a disbelieving stare. I pretend not to see her. Then, before I can react, before I can move, Jenna lunges. Something cold and waxy presses against my lips. I jerk away. What the hell? Jenna beams, clicking the cap shut on a tube like she's just done a great public service. There, she declares. Now you're good. I gape at her. Did you just put apricot rain sparkle on me without my consent? She shrugs, unbothered. I rub my lips together, scowling. It's nice, this lipstick. Well, that's not the point. Jenna, grinning like she just uncovered my innermost secret, loops her arm through mine and tugs me toward the booth. Come on, wouldn't want to keep your flame waiting. He never was. Oh, hush and fluff your hair. Simon and Luke are waiting. Judging from the way Simon leans back, arms folded like he owns the bar, he just saw everything. You're early, Jenna chirps as we reach the table. I stare at them, expression flat, understanding what she's done. This isn't about getting us a hacker. This is retaliation. I engaged Luke, her walking, brooding mistake. Now she's brought in mine. Simon stands as we approach, smooth and unbothered, which is already a violation of the way I feel inside. Because the last time I saw Simon Lee, really saw him, before he vanished into whatever diet of raw confidence he apparently found in Silicon Valley, he was a pimply, awkward nerd's nerd of a nerdy nerd. Seriously. Even the Dungeons and Dragons contingent didn't want him at their table. He was too tall for his limbs, too hunched over his laptop, too enthusiastic about things like open source encryption and, God help me, claymation. He wore glasses with perpetually smudged lenses, clothes 2 sizes too big, and sneakers that squeaked in the hallways. At least he did. Now? Now he looks like an AI-generated model for unnaturally attractive tech billionaire. Simon looks like he knows exactly what I'm thinking. Cayce Layton, he says smoothly. I resist the urge to sigh. Simon Lee. Luke glances between us, picking up on the currents. Jenna sees it too and grins. Well, this is fun. She slips into the booth next to Simon, leaving me to no choice but to slide into the spot Luke vacates because he has to be on the outside in order to watch the room. This leaves me face to face with Simon. So, Simon says, which one of you is responsible for dragging me into these shenanigans? Jenna raises her hand like a kid in class. That sounds right, Simon says casually, then nods to me. Now, are we going to talk about it, or are we going to pretend this is normal? I shrug. I don't know what you mean. Jenna lets out an unholy giggle. Simon runs a hand through his dense sweep of hair, eyes locked on me. That's when I feel it. The dreadful, creeping realization that I know exactly what he's going to do. My fingers tighten around my bourbon glass. Luke catches it with a confused look. Jenna lights up, delighted. This is beautiful, she purrs. Simon, all effortless calm on the surface, lets the silence stretch, a silence that carries the weight of something that has been left to fester for too long. Luke leans. What happened between you two? I shake my head. Nothing whatsoever. We went to the prom together, that's all. Luke doesn't buy it. Oh no, not at all. Simon shrugs like someone who's had ample time to generate his own version of the story. So that's why you'd rather set yourself on fire than talk about it? Luke asks. I close my eyes. Inhale, exhale. I adopt the facsimile of indifference. It's ancient history. Jenna, unable to control herself, leans forward. Oh, but Luke, you will love this. You have to tell him, Cayce. She turns in his direction. You know le incidente? Luke frowns. Le incidente? Then his eyes light up as he remembers. You mean... Jenna nods, gripping the table. It was... Oh, wait, what did they really call it again? We are not saying it, I say, forcing myself to answer lightly, pretending this conversation wasn't spiraling downward. Then Simon speaks. His voice is even, almost bored, as he answers Jenna. Condom gate. The word lands like a hammer. Jenna claps her hands, triumphant. Luke's brows shoot up like he's been handed front row seats to a Blue Angels flyover. As for me, I stare at Simon. He's not the pimply-faced kid I last saw when he ducked out of high school from MIT. He's not the awkward boy who tripped over his own feet and slyly handed me a copy of a sex manual he wanted me to know he wanted me to know he'd learned. He's someone else entirely. His face is unreadable, his expression is measured. He's 10 steps ahead, and it's like a game I don't even know we're playing. The Simon I knew used to fill silence with awkward jokes. Now the quiet feels like a loaded gun. I catch the sharpness behind his control. The way he lets me sit in discomfort, the way he wields his words like surgical tools. I don't know what happened to him over the last 20 years, and I'm not sure I like this version. One thing's for certain. This Simon Lee doesn't fumble anymore. He meets my gaze, unblinking. I'm not sure what unsettles me more, the fact that I don't trust him, or the fact that somewhere beneath my unease there's a part of me that wishes I could. Not for the first time since I walked through that door. My every instinct is telling me to run. And that is chapter 17. We are going to move on to chapter 18 in just a minute. I will start a new recording. Thanks, guys. Bye now.